Hi everyone, welcome to Dale Bellows. My name is Catherine and today we'll be making this card that I've called Pipin's Butterfly Garden. Let's talk about the supplies needed. For stamps today we'll be using Pipin LAV 581, Max LAV 604, the Flutterby, which is LAV 444, Mini Flutter LAV 623, Field Grass LAV 197, and Lavender LAV 093. For cardstock, we'll be using one piece of multifarious cardstock that is trimmed down to 4.5 by 6.5 inches. One piece of colored cardstock that coordinates with my inks, and this is trimmed to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then a 5 by 7 card base, which is made from a 10 by 7 piece of cardstock folded in half. For inks, I'm so excited to have these. We have some of the pinks and greens from the new Elements release. So I have Spun Candy, Pink Elephant, Green Parrot, and Pixie Green. For Versafine Clair Inks today, we'll be using Nocturne, Baby Pink, Verdant Green, and Spruce. I have a container that's pre-mixed with bleach and water that I keep by my desk. I just like the way I get the ink lifted off of my card a little bit better than with just water. I'll be using my fan brush for that bleach. I have some Lavinia blending brushes, so I have 2 number 9 brushes and 2 number 7 brushes. I also have a black chalk pastel pencil, 2 of my sparkle gel pens, one in pink and one in silver. I have my Micron fine line marker to fill in anything that maybe doesn't stamp completely. I'm also using my watercolor blending brush, which comes from Sweet Poppy. And finally, I'll be using my Sweet Petunia Misty and my Sweet Petunia glue press. Let me pull all this together and we'll get started. Now that our background is done and it's had time to dry, I'm going to use the butterflies that I previously cut out, and I'm going to paint them in with some of my Elements ink. So we'll take out one or two of these. I haven't decided how many I'm going to use yet. And put that one away. And I'm going to use my watercolor blending brush and just put a little bit of dye or ink in the lid. And oops, and just pick it up with the brush. And let me get some paper towels just to soak up any extra water. And I'm just going to use this, and we'll just paint this butterfly in. And just get a little bit more. All right. There we go. So that one is done. I'm just going to put it aside, and I think I'm only going to use one today. And let's bring our card back, and we're actually going to stamp, clean that up. I'm going to stamp a few butterflies up in the sky. So I'm going to do that using my Nocturne ink pad and the mini Flutterby. Okay, so we'll ink that up really well. That's probably good, and we'll put him just right here in the sky. All right, and then I'm going to take the full butterfly and we'll stamp one up here. Now for this card, because I'm using 2 of the rabbits, I do want to use 3 butterflies, and so I'm going to add this one. My plan is to add it down into the grass, but I will show you how to do that in just a minute. And I'm going to bring back my bleach and water, because at this point, I think I want to bleach out these little butterflies and give them a few minutes to dry while we stamp our rabbits. So I'm going to come back in with my blending brush and my bleach and water solution. And this is one nice thing about the Elements inks, is that they do blend out really well. So if you'd like to just kind of bleach out your background, the bleach and water works wonders for this. I'll give it a minute. Let that sit for a minute and work on this one. But it's just a really great way to change the color inside of your image if you're stamping little butterflies or flowers and you've already done your backgrounds and you want to change the color. This would be the way to go. Now at this point, I'm going to come back in and paint in my butterflies using the ink from my lid. Just want to cover that up so those last as long as I can get them to. And we'll just pull out that pink ink. Get a nice bold pink. I think I'm going to come back in a minute and just go right around my butterfly one more time to darken up that line. All right, so there we are. And we'll stick this one down in the grass when we're done. So I'm thinking somewhere around here will be a good spot for that. So, all right, let's come back in with our darker Elements inks, and I'm going to use the pink elephant and then the Pixie green just to add a little bit of dimension around the edge of my design. right, that was an easy way to speed up drying. So now what I want to do is come back in with my pink glitter gel pen, and I'm going to color in the lavender flowers just to make them pop and give my card a little bit of extra sparkle. So I will add some music and save you from listening to me talk. Now let's come in with the silver sparkle pen and add a little bit of highlights to our flowers, and we can even add a little bit to our butterflies. So I'm doing this just to make it a little more opaque because I had stamped it in that dark green, and I want them to pop out from the page. So I'm going to use my Micron pen just to fill in the edges of my butterfly that didn't stamp quite perfectly, and I just want to darken them up a little bit. So we'll just outline them again. And then I'll do this one here. As a final step before we put it all together, I'm just going to add a little bit of shading underneath Max and Pipin. All right, let's put it all together and I'll be back. Here we are. Our card is all finished and completed. I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you are not already a member of our Facebook groups, please consider joining us at Del Bello's Designs Lounge for all of your creations made with Lavinia Stamps, or Del Bello's a la carte for all other stamp lines Del Bello's sells. See you soon.